Hi, I'm Claire Tompkins, the Clutter Coach, and this is the Organize Your Life podcast. I am passionate about organizing because it makes my clients' lives so much easier, more relaxed, and with more time to spend the way they want to. That's what organizing is all about, not about being neat or having the right containers. It's about getting more time for what matters to you. My specialty is chunking down this big topic so it's not overwhelming. That's the concept behind my book, 5 Minutes to a Relaxing Bedroom. And that's the concept for this podcast, too, which is based on my first book, 52 Simple Ways to Get Organized. Both books are available on my website and on Amazon. I work with clients in person in the Berkeley, California area and via email and Skype, so you don't have to be local to work with me. With my help, your home will become a place you love and welcome guests into. Your office will be a place for being energized and productive. Visit the Hire tab on my website or email me at claire@cluttercoach.net. In every podcast, I'll lay out a simple organizing concept and tell you why it's important. And I'll include an action step at the end so you can start practicing right away. Okay, here we go. Today's podcast is about a really juicy topic, procrastination. In fact, it's so juicy that I have divided this subject into 2 episodes, one this week and one next week, and there's still material that I had to cut out, so I'll probably be revisiting it. All right, so part 1. This is a big topic, and it's the reason for a lot of clutter and disorganization. First, I'll talk about why people procrastinate. It's important to figure out what's going on for you before you can choose the right strategies to overcome it. And then next week will be a review of those strategies. Did you know that there's a procrastination research group? It's run by Dr. Tim Pitchell of Carleton University. He's been studying procrastination for over 20 years. Here are the 5 cognitive disorders that lead to procrastination. 1. Overestimation of time left to perform tasks. 2. Underestimation of time required to complete tasks. 3. Overestimation of future motivational states. 4. Misreliance on the necessity of emotional congruence to succeed at a task. And 5. Belief that working when not in the mood to work is suboptimal. The first 2 are pretty commonly known. We routinely discount previous experience when we figure it'll take us 20 minutes to get out the door in the morning. Yesterday it took half an hour. The day before that, it took half an hour. Every day this week, it's taken half an hour. But somehow we can't get ourselves to believe that simple little tasks like putting on a shirt and brushing our teeth can possibly take up all that time. And that leads to the second distortion. How long does it take to brush your teeth? We tend to focus on the actual brushing part, a few minutes tops. But there's a bunch of other time-consuming steps, like walking to the bathroom, getting your brush out, putting the toothpaste on it. And then after brushing, there's the rinsing, the drying, the putting away. Now, these things are all pretty quick, but they combine to make the task longer than it is in your mind. And that's in an ideal world where there are no obstacles or distractions. The other 3 were a bit surprising to me, especially the last one. Although I intuitively knew them, I've never seen them spelled out so clearly. Number 3, overestimation of future motivational states, refers to putting things off with the belief that you'll be in the mood to do them later. In her book, The Willpower Instinct, Kelly McGonigal writes of a study in which people were asked to predict how much they would exercise in the coming weeks. Most people predicted they'd exercise a lot more than they actually did. Not a huge surprise, right? Then they were asked the same questions prefaced by, "in an ideal world." But their answers were the same. That means that they always answer this question as if they were in an ideal world. In an ideal world where the train is on time, the dog has been walked, dinner's ready, and nothing gets spilled, broken, or lost. The predictions were not at all geared to the world we actually live in. Number 4, misreliance on the necessity of emotional congruence to succeed at a task, elaborates on that concept by asserting that you don't really have to be perky, focused, and happy and carefree to get your work done. At the last point says that the work you do can be good work, even if you're not up for it. It's common to have a romantic hope that the muse of report writing, sales calling, house cleaning, sculpting, or tax preparing will descend on you and will cause you to happily devote your energies to the appointed task and emerge with a masterpiece. But let's be realistic. Most great artists and other accomplished folk don't sit around waiting for inspiration. They just get down to business. The hard-working Thomas Edison said, "Genius is 1% inspiration and 99% perspiration." Here's another great quotation from The War of Art by Stephen Pressfield. Someone once asked Somerset Maugham if he wrote on a schedule or only when struck by inspiration. "I write only when inspiration strikes," he replied. "Fortunately, it strikes every morning at 9 o'clock sharp." Another book I love, It's About Time, The 6 Styles of Procrastination and How to Overcome Them by Dr. Linda Sapedon, lays out these personality types. See if you recognize any of them. The perfectionist. These people don't want to finish or even start a project they fear won't be perfect. They waste time refining and honing their work, but adding no value. The dreamer. These people are better at ideas than execution. Actually, doing the work seems tedious and boring. They are vague about how to make things happen, and they tend to believe they'll be magically rescued. The worrier. These people fear risk and always wonder, what if? What if? They put off acting if it means doing something unfamiliar or uncomfortable. The defier. These people hate feeling controlled by others. They feel oppressed by mundane chores. "You can't make me," is their tagline. The crisis maker. These people are adrenaline junkies. They thrive on and even create near disasters because they're so exciting. The overdoer. These people are indecisive and unassertive. They say yes to everyone and then they get stuck. They overcommit and they burn out. Did you find yourself in one of those? If so, take heart. There are remedies for procrastination, and that's the topic of next week's podcast. Your action step this week is to try to pin yourself down to a couple of these types. I know people are usually more than one, but if you can figure out what type of procrastinator you are, you're going to be able to make better use of the solutions that I give next week. All right, until then. Hey, thanks for listening. I'm Claire Tompkins, the Clutter Coach. If you like the show, I'd love it if you'd leave a rating and review in iTunes. You can subscribe, too, so the podcast will be ready and waiting for you to listen to. The show is available on SoundCloud and Stitcher as well. You'll find the show notes on my blog at www.cluttercoach.net, and you can check out my store to find books I've written and books and products I recommend, and some freebies, too. I work with folks in their homes and offices to bust clutter and get them organized so they can stay that way easily. Get in touch and find out how I can help you. I'm in Berkeley, California, and you can reach me at claire@cluttercoach.net. Come back for more next week.